What's up, guys? Matt Moda here with Crossing Broad, here to talk to you about the Phillies versus Mets game tonight. It's game two of this series between these two teams. Obviously, a massive series. Unfortunately, Citi Field continues to be just an absolute house of horrors for the Phillies. I think they've lost 8 straight at Citi Field. Just cannot get any momentum whenever they play in that stadium. They were gifted, not gifted, but they had a 3-0 lead with Christopher Sanchez on the mound yesterday. Obviously, they got blown out, lost 13-3. Things did not work out for us either. 0 for 3 on our home run predictions yesterday. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Mark Vientos, none of them came through. The Phillies bats had a chance to do something, just couldn't get it done. And then Vientos actually had a pretty good day yesterday, just didn't come in the form of a home run. That happens in the home run game. You kind of got to just accept that and move on. As for today, Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Phillies, Sean Manaea on the mound for the Mets. Going to have 2 home run props to lock in for today. We're going to talk about that in hopes of bouncing back from yesterday. Before we get into that, just remember, please go sign up at BetMGM. Use the promo code CROSSING to get in on the action. 2 state-dependent offers, depending on where you are located, that you can get on BetMGM. And then for this video, if you could comment, that would help us out a ton. And then subscribe to the YouTube channel. And let's talk about today's home run predictions. So the first one that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is Pete Alonso to hit a home run, who you can get at plus 325 odds. Now, you look at the last week, the home runs have not quite been there for Pete Alonso. He's hit 1 home run over the last week, which, like, 1 home run in a week isn't that somebody that's completely ice cold at the plate. But you look at his advanced numbers, it's actually pretty impressive. He leads the entire MLB. That's right. He's number 1 in terms of total hard hits over the last week with 17. 17 hard hits in a 7-day stretch is really, really impressive. Obviously, even I can do that math. Means he's averaging more than 2 hard hits per game over the last week. That's very, very impressive. Now, he's got 3 barrels in that stretch, so he's done an okay job of barreling the ball up. Not amazing, but definitely not terrible. 3 barrels in a 7-day stretch is completely fine. And as I mentioned, those hard hits leads the MLB. Only one other batter is even close to him with 16. Very, very good fly ball rate in this stretch of 55%. A pretty good pull rate in this stretch of 44%. Good launch angle, 20.7 degrees. All of those numbers just show a hitter that is hitting the ball really well. And if you just took away the home run column, you get that he would have 3 or more home runs in this stretch. So if he continues to hit the ball the way that he is, the guess here is that the home runs are going to start to come for Pete Alonso. He continued to hit the ball well yesterday. Again, did not go yard, but had a pretty long fly out yesterday, 102.7 miles per hour off the bat, 34-degree launch angle. That's almost picture perfect for a home run. Traveled 366 feet. It actually would have been a home run in 17 out of 30 stadiums. Now, unfortunately, Citi Field, that's just kind of the nature of the business at Citi Field. They've got a pretty decently big outfield. So you're going to see situations where you can see long flyouts. That's going to happen. That's still a well-hit baseball. It's still a hitter that's hitting the ball well consistently. And Alonso hits left-handed pitchers very well. Obviously, Jesus Luzardo is a left-handed pitcher, so that number is important. On the entire year, 250 ISO rate, 23% barrel rate against lefties. Those are 2 excellent numbers. Literally, Fangraphs defines an excellent ISO rate as 250 and above, defines an excellent barrel rate of 15% and above. Well beyond that in terms of barrel rate. Over the last month, so looking at the last 30 days specifically, 346 ISO rate, so that's fantastic, and a 20% barrel rate. Sure, it's lower than his season-long barrel rate, still very, very good over the last 30 days. Now, I will admit, you look at the head-to-head matchup between these two, batter versus pitcher, Alonso versus Luzardo. Alonso has not had success against Jesus Luzardo. I don't put a ton of emphasis in batter versus pitcher matchups because it's kind of like, well, batters go through hot stretches. So it kind of depends on what's going on during that stretch, especially someone like Luzardo, who's completely hit or miss, volatile at the plate. He could look like the best pitcher in baseball in one inning. The next inning, he could get dinged up. So it really just depends. Only 3 of the at-bats they've had were this year. A lot of that stuff goes back to like 2022 and 2023. So I don't put much emphasis into that. What I do know is that Alonso's red hot. He hits lefties very well. And Luzardo, as I mentioned, is very volatile at the plate. Could easily get ripped up in this game. You look at the last 6 weeks for Luzardo, he's allowed a home run every 16 at-bats, which we look for that number to be under 20. So every 16 is perfect. You look at his advanced numbers, some good, some bad. Either way, it does not show a matchup or a pitcher that you should be completely scared of. So I like Pete Alonso a lot to hit a home run. I also like his teammate Mark Vientos to hit a home run at plus 510 odds. Now, I was on Vientos yesterday. As I mentioned, he did not hit a home run, but he still did have a good day overall. And Vientos just seems to be a Phillies killer when you take into account what he did in the playoffs against them last year. He only had 3 at-bats. He was taken out after 3 at-bats. But in those 3 at-bats, he had a double, a single. He had a couple RBIs. He did have one hard hit in those 3 at-bats as well, which was the double. It just had a little bit too low of a launch angle, so it was never going to be a real home run threat. Still a good day overall. And then you take a step back, you look at Mark Vientos, you can make the argument that he's literally the hottest batter in baseball at the plate over the last week. He is one of 5 batters with 6 or more barrels over the last 7 days. That's really, really impressive. 6 barrels in the last 7 days. Again, one of 5 batters puts him in pretty good company. But he also has the second most hard hits in the entire MLB as well. I mentioned that Pete Alonso was the leader at 17. I mentioned one batter was below him with 16. Well, that batter is Mark Vientos. So he's almost hitting the ball hard as well as Pete Alonso, but he's doing a much, much better job at barreling the ball up. Now, those 2 numbers are very important. Barrels are really high, important high leverage situations when you can get a barrel. So Mark Vientos had a really slow start to the year, and then he missed a couple weeks due to injury. Last 10 days, he's been fantastic. And similar to Pete Alonso, he has annihilated left-handed pitching. Now, his season-long numbers are not as good as Pete's because, again, Vientos really couldn't hit a baseball for the first 2 months of the year. But last 30 days, 467 ISO rate and 18% barrel rate against left-handed pitching. Those 2 numbers, again, that ISO rate is incredible. I mean, 467 is ridiculous. And 18% barrel rate is still considered excellent by Fangraphs standards. So obviously, Luzardo being a left-handed pitcher, important for Mark Vientos against the lefty. So between him and Alonso, I mean, I like both of them to hit a home run. If one of them comes through, we're making money. That's the beauty of taking home runs. But if we got both of them today, that would be great. And that's all we got. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to go to BetMGM, use the promo code CROSSING to sign up. Helps us out a ton. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.